Been having a great time flying this Diatone Blade 150. The FPV gear on here, the 3-inch propellers that I cut down from 4-inch. This thing is awesome. It has plenty of power. I feel like it's going to compete very well with the 250 size brothers. Anyway, what I've been flying with this is I've been using these Dominator HDs. The Dominator HDs I feel like are spot on. I don't know that there can be anything much better. I tried a pair of Dominator V2s. The quality of the picture was about as good, but the field of view in this is just so much bigger. Now, if you're going from Dominator V2s and you're looking at the Dominator HDs, I don't think you're going to go, wow, it's so much bigger, because you don't really notice when things get better, but you notice when things get worse. Now, when I tried on those Dominator V2s, I just felt like the field of view was so narrow, and I thought, man, I really need a bigger field of view, and these Dominator HDs are probably the best you can get. The only way I know of that you can get a larger field of view than the Dominator HDs is if you go to something with a screen, like these Quanum V2s. Now, I thought about getting the HeadPlays HDs, but they were like $300, and I thought, I don't want to pay that much just to try it. But instead, I went in and I bought these Quanum V2s. These came from Hobby King. And along with the Quanum V2, I got the RC832 Receiver. And this works pretty well. Now, the only thing is that when I got this and I put them together, I had the audio cables hooked up here along with the video cables, and every time the propellers would spin up, the picture would disappear, and I thought maybe there's something wrong with the receiver, but what it really comes down to is there's something wrong with the audio cables, and after I unplugged the audio cables, then everything started working. Now, if you've been flying with the Dominator HDs or any other FatShark goggles, you're going to notice a huge difference in your field of view with this. Now, my initial impression is it's a little bit harder to focus your eyes on this when it's this close, but you have the Fresnel lens in there that's supposed to help you out a little bit. The other thing is, because the field of view is so big, I found myself constantly moving my eyeballs around like this trying to see what's coming. When I go to turn and I go into a wide turn, I feel like I'm looking over here to the left side of the screen to see what's coming. And the other thing is it's not that it's bad, it's just such a large field of view. The other problem I have is that when I try to fly between two things that are narrow, with the Dominator HDs, just because I've been flying with them so long, I can line up my nose and fly right through the middle. With these, I feel like, am I lined up in the middle? I can't tell, because I can't tell if my eyeballs are looking straight, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and when I try to fly through stuff, it just takes a little bit more time. Now, I'm sure I'd probably have a different opinion if I grew up learning on these, but that's just the way it is for me flying. So here's an up-close view of the goggles. This is a little holder to hold your wires going in here, and a place here to hold your transmitter. This one's a little big for this, but I got it because it was cheap and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it because these are supposed to be budget goggles. It has little places like this here, these little straps to hold your cables coming from your TV back to your receiver. On this side over here, I have the battery pack here, and this is a 950 milliamp hour battery with the leads coming out the bottom, so I can, recharge it when I need to. And also down here on the bottom, it has a couple of little holders. Right here's one, and right here's one over here on this side, and you're supposed to slide your connections through there so they can plug together. And with this coming out the bottom, it's just long enough that I can plug this in, and it doesn't have to stretch out anything to make it fit. Also on here, it has these little adjusters on the sides where you can adjust the Fresnel lens inside so that it helps your eyes focus a little better on that close screen. If you're flying with FatShark goggles and you decide to switch over to something with a TV screen like this, you're just going to be in for a little bit of adjustment while you get your head around the fact that you can see so much more and your eyeballs are always shifting around inside. If you don't have either one, you're going to love these just because they are very good and they have such a huge field of view. Now my son is going to start flying with these when he starts learning to fly, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on FatShark goggles for him in case he loses interest. But this is a great starter pair, and I think that you could even, if you got good with it, you could even use these, even at a more advanced level. Now, I do like my Dominator HDs because I do have the SD card inside here and I can record my flights. But you can buy different receivers that can record, so it's not like this is a big deal. These are also $500. These were $100 including the receiver and shipping, so to each his own. But I'm going to stick with my Dominator HDs and let my son fly with these, and I'll probably try these out occasionally just to see how they actually do out on the flying field. If you have any questions about these Quanum V2 goggles, leave them in the comments. I'll try to help you out as best I can. If you have any questions about how they compare to the FatShark goggles, leave those too. I'll try to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching.